Hey, what's up, everyone? I get a lot of questions about snare tuning and my tone, the snare I'm using, all those kinds of things. So I figured I'd make a quick video, kind of breaking all that down. I'm gonna try to keep this short, sweet, and to the point because it really doesn't have to be a long thing. For starters, this is a Ludwig Superlight. Just for people wondering, sometimes people have asked, "Is this a Superphonic?" It's not. The snare drum is only $200 brand new. I really recommend it. Like if you know how to tune and a snare drum is not broken, like any snare drum really will work. But I like the tone out of steel snares and how long they ring. Some people like hate ring, but I embrace it. I feel like it's cool for like hip hop and all the kind of stuff that I do. But anyway, other than that, the head that I'm using is a Evans UV1. This is a single 10 mil coated head. Oh, it was a bug. And that's my preference on snares. I feel like they work great on most snares. I don't really have any issues with them. I like how they sound cranked high, which also that's how I like to tune my snares, is cranked high for the most part. It's good for like hip hop and the type of stuff that I do. If something needs muffling, I just throw something on it and it works great. So right now I'm just going to detune it from here and then tune it back up to show you how easy it can be. And first we'll just see how it sounds. And then this is what we're going to try to get it back to. And these are rim shots I'm doing. Oh, kind of missed. Alright, yeah, that sounds good. We're going to try to get back to this. So just going to detune it now, which I will fast forward for the sake of the video. And then I will play again once I'm done. Okay, now you can see the head is completely off. Right there for a second. Really quick on the bottom, I'm really just focused on like the batter head here, but as far as, turn the snares off. As far as the bottom goes, kind of just got this from Rod Brown. You should just crank it tight, and it should sound like this. All the lugs are pretty tight. You want it to kind of feel like a table. Like if you set a cup of water on here, it should sit and not even sink into the drum head at all. So that's how tight you want this thing. Not choked. When you push into it, should be like a little bit of give, but pretty much tabletop tight. So again, that's just going around and just kind of cranking it up. If the snare drum is choked, it will let you know. So throwing the snares back on. I'm going back to the top. If you got any further questions about the bottom, just let me know. There's really no tricks there. Just kind of turn it up, make it tight, and leave it. From what I understand, that's supposed to work for all types of tuning you want to do, low, medium, or high. I really kind of stay in like a medium-high range. I don't really go too low. Okay, so now I'm just sticking the lugs back in. And you will want to start from finger tight. So right now I'm going to go around in finger tight. I will also fast forward this part for time's sake. Okay, so right now everything is finger tight. I just like to double check. Make sure everything is tight. This gives you an even starting point, which helps with the tuning. Alright, so now, really no tricks or gimmicks. You just start cranking it up. There's really no rules to how you can do it. You can go in a circle or across. I just do across because I'm used to it, so we'll just do that. And I usually just start with like half turns. You never want to crank a lug all the way up before going to the next one. So I'll probably fast forward this part as well. So just feeling it, I can tell we're not there yet, but we're just going to hit it just so we can see where we're at. Again, you don't just want to just start by turning all the way up and then just keep going. Kind of do it in increments. So 1, It'll be a little closer to what we were at before. So that sounds pretty good. Where I like to put it and just pushing in the middle, and this is something that you just want to get used to. We can go even a little bit higher. So now I'm not going to do as big of turns. I think if I did a half turn at every lug, I'm going to go over choked. So we'll just do maybe quarter turns. Let's test it again. Sounds pretty good. This is like a high tuning. I think it can go maybe even a tad higher. Now, once your lugs start feeling hard to turn, that's how you know that you're getting close. You shouldn't be like really pushing them in there like that. A little higher. Woo! Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. You can continue to spot check lugs. Like this one got a little bit of turn life in it before it starts to feel too hard. Again, you don't want anything to feel too hard as you're turning. If it's too hard, that means you're choking that particular lug, and that will kill the resonance of the drum. So if you're putting pretty good finger strength on it, like see this, just using my fingers, I can't turn it, I'd leave that alone. This one, same thing, can't really turn it, that's pretty tight, I'd leave it alone. That had a little bit of turn on it. I mean, you're not really going to notice that. That also had a little bit. So these two had like a little bit of life in them to turn up. And I noticed that killed a little bit of like the snare buzz underneath. Definitely if your snares are rattling, something is wrong. And a lot of times people will tell you that something needs to be turned down. But I have found that I get a lot of snare bed stuff to go away by turning up. So if there's like a lot of snare buzz, I sometimes will check underneath the 4 lugs that are directly around it and make sure that those are turned up tight enough, because that helps with like snare buzz. So just hitting the drum alone, no snare buzz. I mean, I haven't done something like hit a 10-inch tom or an 8-inch tom next to it. Those usually tend to cause the frequencies to kind of go haywire, but again, in the mix, that's not really a big deal. If there's a little bit of snare buzz from you hitting a tom, that's okay, as long as your snare sounds good. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you know, thinking of like hip-hop songs, that's perfect. Things of that nature. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And this super light holds its tuning pretty well. So, once I set it here, I honestly, unless if I just want to change the head, I really don't have to touch it again. This thing holds, again, for a Ludwig snare that's $200 brand new, holds its tuning amazing. Like, the lugs are pretty tight and secure. You don't really have to buy any like lug locks or nothing like that. I mean, it just works. So that's it. If any further questions, definitely hit me up. But that's it, man. It's really just cranking your batter until it's pretty tight, and you can't turn it anymore without choking it. Like, if I wanted to muscle through all of the lugs, I could, but at that point, it will become choked. So once you start feeling like your muscles up here being used to turn your lugs, you're going too tight. All of the turning should happen from these muscles and, you know, your wrist and stuff like that. So that'd be my recommendation. Like, if you're ever using your whole arm to turn a lug, you've gone too far past the limit. So that's it.